Marissa, thanks very much. Fairfax County trying to get more guns off of the streets. Last year, police seized more than 1,000. Also, it's been nearly 2 months since a new operation was launched to try to do even more. So we're sitting down with Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis this morning to talk more about Operation Press Check and much more. Always good to talk to you, Chief. Good morning.
Hey, Steve.
Let's just start with that and the efforts to try to get more guns off the street. Where are you now? What are you doing? And is it working?
Yeah, we're really proud of what we're doing, but I just can't get out of my head that pistachio eating is really a thing.
It is a competitive sport. If you want to train for it, we'll follow your journey.
Oh, man, that's something else. So, no, we're really proud about Operation Press Check. We partnered with Steve Toscano and his office, the Commonwealth State's Attorney. We did take over 1,000 guns off the streets in 2023, and we're proud of that. But what we noticed is we were increasingly seeing convicted felons who have been proven to not be worthy to legally carry a firearm because they've carried them illegally and committed violent crimes. So they're prohibited from carrying firearms. And there's a particular statute that we want to apply in a more strategic way against those folks. So far, since we started Operation Press Check, we have 7 cases that are pending in the criminal justice system right now. So these are convicted felons who still make a decision to be in possession illegally of a firearm, and we think that's bad for humanity.
In a lot of these cases, are they people that you already know they are in possession of this, or is it people in the community that are letting you know that this is someone who is still in possession?
It's a mix. Sometimes we'll get tips from the community. Sometimes our police officers will just encounter these folks while they're out doing their job, either on traffic stops or other opportunities to interact with them. But, you know, I think it's a topic that there's universal agreement that we don't want people who have proven themselves to be violent to continue to be in possession illegally of a firearm. So we're going to do much better in 2024 with holding those particular people accountable.
Unfortunately, you also have more guns going into the streets, and in one particular case, it was a gun store. It was a burglary at the gun store. I think you had 50 or so guns that were taken away. Did you recover any of them?
So that was a big one. Back in April of 2023, we had a gun store broken into. 53 guns, handguns, and long guns were taken. So we work with so many people, and I'm going to forget to mention all the names, but MPD, Prince George's, Montgomery, Arlington, Prince William, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia, U.S. Attorney's Office, finally caught them. 2 young guys, I don't know if you have their pictures, but they're 20 and 21 years old. We've unfortunately only recovered about 15, or not about, 15 of the 53 guns. So those other guns are out there. That's scary for us, but they're being held accountable. At least those 2 are for that brazen. It's a brazen crime to break into a gun store and take 53 guns. So it took us a while to catch up with them, but we did.
I want to ask you another question, and I don't mean for this to be a gun-centric conversation, but I did want to ask you another question involving guns, but this one involving people within your department and your officers. Obviously, we had a situation that played out at Tyson's that led to the firing of one of your officers for shooting someone, but then word came out, and the story is out now that officer had pulled a gun on people multiple times in the past. My question to you is not in that particular situation, because I know that there's pending litigation. You can't talk about that, or pending criminal matters. But as far as officers in the department pulling guns on people, what I guess regulates that as far as when it is warranted, when it's not, and how much do you keep track of that when an officer does in fact pull a gun? Because there are concerns that maybe they're not being, that maybe officers are pulling guns for lesser offenses than they should be.
Sure. So we've kept track, Steve, since 2017. And we keep track better than any department that I know of in the nation. So our policy and our training dictates when police officers can pull their gun and point it at a person. And like you said, there's a pending criminal trial in September of 2024. So I was very surprised and disappointed to see that the sitting public defender in Fairfax County shared very indirect and very speculative information with a newspaper reporter that resulted in that article. That was bad judgment on the public defender, and
because you think
unfortunately,
it could impact the trial.
worst judgment on the newspaper reporter. Absolutely, it can impact the trial. And but getting back to our policy and the way we train, we've been doing it for several years now. We keep, not only we keep track, but we review at the highest levels, and that includes an internal affairs review every time a police officer points a gun at a person. We take it seriously. Police officers do that during their normal course of duty, so we have to recognize that absolutely happens. but we keep track of it in ways that most police departments don't.
One of the stories that got the most attention, not just in Fairfax County, but all across the area in the past couple of weeks, a guy is part of a stolen vehicle that crashes, shuts down 66, and then goes to the hospital, then apparently steals an ambulance, and then eventually you catch up with him. A lot of elements involved there. What's the latest with that story?
So that was last weekend. That car goes airborne. There's 5 people in the car. The person who eventually stole the ambulance was in the car. Miraculous that none of them lost their lives. It was a horrific crash. That car went airborne. So he's at the hospital. He's at Fairfax Hospital being treated. Hospital gown, IV in his arms. He makes his way out of the hospital. He had not yet been criminally charged. I know that's one of the big questions. He had not yet been criminally charged, but he makes his way to an ambulance, Steve, and gets in it and drives it for 2 or 3 miles, and thankfully didn't hurt anybody while he was driving it. And it took us a couple of days to catch up with him. He's a big guy. You'd think we'd find him pretty quickly in his hospital gown with an IV hanging out of his arm. But it took us a couple of days. We worked with partners in Prince William County Police Department, and we caught up with him. He's out now. He got released on bond yesterday.
I was going to ask you that. Yeah, we heard he bonded out, and now I guess the next step of that process continues, and we'll see where it goes from there. Chief, I appreciate you joining us this morning. As always, catch up on all things Fairfax County. We'll see you again soon, hopefully. In the meantime, let's get to